What's going on, you guys? It's your girl. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Hold up, this Bella. Oh shoot.
Maybe complications over here.
Woo! It's your girl Nikki, and I am back with another video. And today I am about to sit up here. Oh,
You better sit over and have a baby. That's what you better sit over here and do.
oh my god. Okay. Today I'm about to sit up here and then I can't concentrate.
Like I said, you better sit over and have a baby.
And today, I'm about to sit up here and react on Mom raised me to be a gold digger and live to regret it. Oh, what? All right, let's start the video. Oh, make sure you guys, if you guys have not, anybody is new, please subscribe, like, and comment, and hit that ding ding bell button. And also subscribe to the Q&A TV.
Family was so perfect, you could have put us on a Christmas card. A big, beautiful house, every luxury in the world, and 2 loving parents. Until the day when I was in the 9th grade. My parents were hosting one of their grand Christmas parties when suddenly a group of men from the FBI barged in. One of them said, "You're under arrest for fraud," as they walked straight up to Dad. He screamed in protest as he was dragged away. Turns out, Dad had invested in a business venture with his friend, and it was a complete scam. The friend had run away with so many people's money, including Dad's. While he was in prison, I'd watch men in suits come by every day to take away all our things. They let us keep the house, though. Mom and I would snuggle up in sleeping bags in front of the fireplace in the big, empty living room. When Dad was released on bail after a few months...
Wait, did that y'all just say subscribe?
Why they gotta boot him out like that?
Wait, go back. That y'all just caught my eyes. That y'all just pause in the middle of it and say subscribe.
In the big, empty living room. When Dad was released on bail after a few months...
Subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe to us.
But Dad wasn't a pleasant man without money. Mom had started working as a maid, and when Dad got back, he turned up his nose at her and said, "Yuck, you clean people's bathrooms now?" He refused to do anything himself except wine. I was forced to go to fancy private school, of course, but he wouldn't even send me to a public one. He said, "I'm not spending any money on your education. If you were a boy, you would at least have some use. I'm going to get you married off as soon as I can." One evening, Dad walked in looking happier than he had in ages, and he was carrying takeaway food bags from our favorite sushi place. Mom glared at him and said, "What's that? The money I gave you."
What's that? Pandora. No, I said Pandora. I meant Panda Express.
It look like to the logo too. They do.
Panda Express, Daddy.
A month's worth of groceries. Dad snapped at her. "Be quiet, woman. We have guests coming over in an hour."
He told his wife like that?
Less like a miserable beggar, please. Dave and Jenna, who were friends of my dad, came in with their son Jason, and they looked at us with pity as they sat down. Most of Dad's friends had disappeared as fast as his money had, but I'd always liked these two. Just as they were leaving, Dave turned to Dad and handed him some money. He said, "You shouldn't have to spend so much on dinner. Let us make it up to you." Dad looked furious. He shouted, "How dare you insult me like this? Get out of my house!" Mom started to say, "We could do with the money." But Dad carried on screaming at our guests to leave, and they hurried away. He turned to me and said, "I can't believe I wanted you to marry that jerk's son." Mom said, annoyed,
"Okay, but how's that his fault? I mean, her fault."
Dad said it was never too early to be thinking about it, and that my only chance of doing well in the world was to marry someone rich. Suddenly, Mom rose from the table and said nastily, "Well, I married a rich man, and look where I am now." She flung the table aside and walked out of the room. A few days later, we heard loud bang on our door. When Dad opened it, some men walked in and flashed a piece of paper in his face, saying the house had been seized and we would have to leave immediately. I couldn't believe it. We were homeless. We packed our few belongings and went to the nearest homeless shelter. Dad looked in disgust at the watery soup served for dinner. He wouldn't lie down on the beds either because he was sure they were full of bed bugs. In the morning, as Mom was heading out for work, a woman drove up to the entrance of the shelter in her flashy red convertible and honked loudly. Dad came running out and, to our shock, jumped into the car and said, "Hey, babe, I missed you." I realized that it was his former secretary.
The disrespect! What is this? The disrespect, yo.
She pulled up hump the hump.
First of all, I knew that he was going to sit up here. Come on now.
I got a feeling he was gonna leave him, but dang, I ain't thinking like that.
The crazy, you know what? I don't even want to sit up here and say nothing because I feel like I'm
The
gonna say
secretary
something.
now?
I feel like I'm gonna say something disrespectful.
He looked
Yo,
back at us and said, "This place is just too filthy for me. I'll be staying with Amanda from now on." And they drove off while Mom screamed at him and called him all sorts of names. Mom turned to me and said, "I knew he was cheating on me. Now that Mr. Good for Nothing is gone, I have to tell you something." She told me that she had a private stash of money saved up, and we could use it to get a small apartment for ourselves. And she would send me to school, too. Well,
that's
all we
good.
could afford was a dingy one-bedroom apartment. It was
Doesn't
still
even
better than
matter.
a
Better than
homeless
that.
shelter. I started looking at public schools in the area, but Mom thrust a brochure in my hand for a really fancy private school. I was surprised. Mom said she would keep doing her cleaning job. "I want you to hang out with the right kind of people and meet a nice guy." That meant rich, of course. It sounded really shallow, but I couldn't blame her. She'd gone from being the lady of the mansion to a maid. I got off the bus 2 blocks away and walked to my new school for New York's elite. I took 2 steps inside and tripped over something. I quickly got up, hoping no one had noticed. "Ouch, you okay?" I heard someone say. I turned around to see the most gorgeous boy smiling warmly at me. He
Why he look
introduced
like
himself
Ken?
as Eli. Just then, a loud sports car sped into the parking lot, drowning out his voice. A really good-looking boy hopped out and was instantly surrounded by other students. Now that looked like someone I should be dating. I had to get close to him. He was rich, and Mom would be so happy. But that annoying Eli wouldn't leave me alone. I could tell he was totally into me. At lunch, Logan, the hot guy, came
Why
over
they
to
keep
me.
showing
With a
the
big
girl that's on the airport?
Is that her telling her story?
Oh.
grin, he said, "I don't believe we've met. A pretty girl like you shouldn't be sitting alone." Yes! I batted my eyelashes. But then I heard Eli's annoying voice. "Let's go to the library, Mia." You go ahead. I think
She
I'm
would
going
be
to stay
mad
here
if
for a
he's
bit,"
rich.
I said, giving Logan a flirty smile. Eli walked away quietly. Soon enough, we were joined by Logan's minions, and before I knew it, I had become part
His
of his
minions?
exclusive circle. This was my ticket to becoming rich. I started hanging out more and more with Logan and his friends,
Oh, Logan
but
was a
Eli
belly.
wasn't happy about it. And he truly hated Logan. I didn't really care if he didn't want to come.
Why
Could
the
have had that
Maybe
nigga?
he
one
was
black
just
guy.
jealous of Logan.
Why he got?
One
Why his
day,
shirt got
Logan
say
announced that he was going to throw a
check?
huge party
He
at his
got the
house this
check
year.
saying,
Everyone was waiting anxiously to
"Is
see
that the
who would be on the
knockoff
guest list.
Nike?"
I was on it. When I told Eli excitedly, he suddenly lost his cool and said, "I don't know what you see in that guy. Are you in love with him?" I felt annoyed by his question, but I just smiled at him and denied it. He looked a little relieved. Then he took my hand and said, "Mia, I'm falling for you. Say you'll go out with me." I had my sights set on Logan, but, well, Eli was pretty rich too, and he really adored me. He
What?
pulled me in for a kiss, and I kissed him back. We were officially dating now. Logan didn't look too happy seeing us going around holding hands. The other person who wasn't too happy was my mother. At first, she was excited to hear I was going out with one of the boys from school, but she went with me to his house one day to drop me off and looked really disappointed. She exclaimed, "That's their house? It looks like a cottage. And their car is a pretty old Mercedes. What happened to the boy with the Ferrari?" A few days before the party, Eli texted me to come to his place in the evening. His mom told me he was in the backyard. My eyes widened when I saw the whole setup. We had a wonderful dinner and danced under the stars. Suddenly, Eli took my hand and slipped a beautiful ring on my finger. Wait, what? Had this guy just proposed to me? And not even waited for me to say yes? He smiled and said, "It's a promise ring. Maybe you'll marry me one day when we're older." It was kind of hard to say no at this point, and Eli was so sweet. I smiled and nodded. When I reached Logan's place for the party, my jaw dropped. It was the biggest mansion I'd ever seen. Logan was outside greeting all his guests. He looked really happy to see me. His parents are away, and he gave us a tour of the house. I was having a hard
Wait a
time
minute.
not looking completely
Wait a
awestruck.
minute.
Logan was
Good damn man.
so much richer than I thought. Outside by the pool of the house, I was having a hard time not looking completely awestruck. Logan was
That's the
outside
other
greeting all
dude.
his guests.
Oh
He
yeah.
looked really happy to see me. His parents are away, and
Okay. Is that the Thanos gauntlet? That's the gauntlet. He has a lightsaber. The freaking Batarang.
Wait, ain't this from
Star Wars, bro.
Oh, I thought it was from Men in Black.
Hold up.
The little
See, it do
pin.
look like it, but
Yeah.
it's a Star Wars. It might be. It look like
Oh shit, I don't know.
it. New a lot.
Oh yeah, the
of
Thor.
course, I was having a hard time not looking
They're
completely
gonna
awestruck.
get you on the
Logan was so
car.
much richer than I thought. Outside by the pool, while everyone was dancing, Logan came up to me and whispered in my ear that I looked really pretty tonight. Before I knew it, he was pulling me in for a kiss. I was about to pull away, but then I thought, he's so much richer than Eli. And I kissed him back.
Girl,
He
you
was
made
definitely not the same
yourself
way. The
actually.
next day at school,
She made
Eli
Oh,
herself
seemed
he,
to
oh,
be in a really bad
a
mood. He wouldn't even look
gold
at
digger
me. I
dad.
caught up with him and asked what the matter was. He turned to me coldly. It's over, Mia. I'm breaking up with you. He took his phone out and showed me some Instagram posts. I stared at them, horrified. Someone from the party last night had taken pictures of me and Logan kissing. And Logan was the one who posted them. Eli, I started, but he walked off before I could say another word. I ran to the girls' bathroom and burst into tears. I knew I'd just lost my best friend. Logan hadn't come to school that day, and I headed straight to his place in the afternoon to confront him. He had no right to post pictures of me without my permission. I rang the bell loudly several times, and a well-dressed woman answered the door looking annoyed. I didn't know his parents were back already. She said coldly, "What do you want?" I said hesitantly, hi. I'm Logan's friend, Mia. I'm here to see him." She rolled her eyes and said, "No one by that name lives here. Goodbye." Then she slammed the door in my face. I was shook.
Pause. This nigga been catfishing?
oh, he was stunting.
Oh, you a whole clout chaser.
So he knew it was gone. He probably just used their place.
What if that's his friend place?
Probably is. Probably not. So,
Yeah, but where he get the car from?
you could rent a car. You could rent a car.
How you get the money?
You probably got a car. Probably got a fake chain.
Oh, girl, you left. This I told. What I say?
Probably that stood alone helped him
I
out.
said, what if the other guy is richer than him?
They probably just had his money saved up, right?
He probably's not flashy type of person that does that. Him and his family. That's what y'all get,
How is it
yo.
possible? The
Stop
next
judging people from outside the book. Stop doing that.
day when he turned up at school, Logan greeted me with
You'll
a
never
grin and
know.
planted a big kiss on my lips. I saw Eli looking at us before walking away. My heart sank. I had decided not to confront Logan right away, so I pretended everything was okay. Later, while I was hanging out
Oh
with
no,
Logan
I
and
would have
his friends
blasted
in the
him. Boy,
mansion,
you.
I heard an all too familiar voice. It was Dad. Dad said, "Well, well, well. Having you become all fancy again. What are you doing here, Dad?" I hissed. "I want to know what you're doing, Mia," he shouted. "Where are you getting the money for the school? Have you moved out of the homeless shelter? I've left Amanda and I'm ready to move in." Logan let go of my hand abruptly
Jeez.
and looked at me in disgust. "Ew, you live in a homeless shelter? I can't believe I kissed you." I could feel everybody's eyes on me and wanted the ground to swallow me up. I could see Eli's face in the crowd. He looked shocked, but also like he felt sorry for me. A couple of school guards started pulling my father away. He shouted, "I'll find you and your mother, Mia. I want my share of the money." I ran away from there as soon as I could. Mom was furious that Dad had ruined everything for me. She screamed, "That man can't stop ruining our lives, can he?" She decided there was no point in sending me to that school anymore. "Everyone there knows you're poor. I'll find another school." Feeling really sad,
No.
I went to school briefly the next day to clear out my locker. I could hear people whispering around me and tried to leave as soon as possible. Just as I was leaving, I saw Logan heading out too. I decided to follow him and ask him why he had ruined everything by posting my pictures. He led me straight to the mansion he'd had the party at. What was going on? I was just going to ask him. I peeked over the wall and froze on the spot. There was Logan, wearing gardener's clothes and mowing the lawn. A woman who looked just like him came over to kiss him on the cheek and headed inside with cleaning supplies. Just then,
Oh,
Logan
his
spotted my
mom.
head over the wall and turned pale. He slowly walked out of the gate towards me. Almost crying, he begged, "Mia,
Hey, look at his face. Why you gotta have a begging face like
That's that
that?
coffee. Like,
almost crying, he begged, Mia, please don't tell him. He'll ruin me." He went on to explain that he and his mom worked here. The owners were really nice and were paying for the school since his dad had left them a few years ago. They'd sometimes even get their chauffeur to pick him up and drop him off. And his real name was Joe.
Oh,
I said, "I'll keep your secret, Joe. But you better start treating the people around you a little better. And take my pictures off your Instagram, jerk." Mom was shocked to find out that Logan was so poor. She said, "Maybe you should just be friends with Eli again. At least they have their own house and car." That was it, I shouted. I've had enough, Mom. I'm sorry that your life is so hard now, but I'm not running after rich boys. Eli really loved me, and I broke his heart. I ran out and headed straight to Eli's place. I knew he wouldn't want to have anything to do with me, but I had to apologize, and I would give back his ring. I rang the bell several times, but no one answered the door, and the house still looked empty. Later that evening, I saw some news on the TV about a robbery at a big jewelry store in a nearby town. A policeman was proudly telling the news reporter that they had been looking for these thieves for years and had finally caught them. They were going to jail for a long time, and their teenage son would be sent to a foster home. I nearly fell off my chair in surprise when I saw their faces on the TV. It was Eli's parents. I looked down at the ring on my finger. I was pretty sure now that it was a real diamond ring. I decided to focus on my studies and work really hard to make my life better for Mom and me. We moved away to another city so Dad wouldn't come around to make us miserable. Years later, I went on to become a flight attendant, a job I really loved. As I stopped at a cafe after a long flight, a waiter approached my table. "Nice ring. Must be one lucky guy." I looked up in shock when I heard that voice. It was Eli. He sat down next to me and took my hand. He said he had known all this time that his parents were criminals, but he wasn't sentenced because he was too young. He didn't want the same life for himself. He said softly, "You never sold the ring?" Teary-eyed, I said, "I couldn't." He smiled. "Are you ready to keep a promise?" I smiled back and said, "Yes, I am." He took out a small box from his coat pocket and placed it in front of me. Inside was a dazzling emerald ring. That kind of ring on a waiter's salary? I was pretty sure it was stolen, but I took it anyway.
Yo, that's crazy. First of all, why is he in a foster care in high school? Ain't you old enough?
No, once you're 18.
Well, that was actually, what should I say about this? I would say they both, they both were some scammers. Yeah, they both
Daddy
were.
was a loan shark and messed around with the sharks. And got bit.
Yeah, I wonder why the father didn't want to sit up here and date her anymore. That's what I'm talking about.
Look,
Having material
materialistic things.
having material things does not buy love. It really don't. It's not worth it. Material things, it don't carry so much weight on your heart. It really don't. Your heart is the most important thing to have as far as feelings wise to someone else that you really like. Not what they got. Not what they can buy, and not what they can sit up here and stand by to sit up here and take care of you. No. None of that matters, to be honest. Well, to me, it don't matter. I'm not fancy about some diamonds or anything. I'm not fancy about none of that stuff. I'm glad I am who I am. But I haven't caught a man that would like me for who I am. Never caught a man that would like me for who I am. Life it is what it is, for real. That's how I'm taking it now. For now on, life is what it is. 2020, I've been through a lot, you guys. It's been really, everybody been through a lot. I'm not gonna just pull me out.
Between the like everybody been COVID, people been quarantined, lockdown. It's been crazy. People been everybody losing loved ones. It's been a stressful. It's been a stressful goddamn year for everybody. All the fathers out there, look out, be there for your kids. All the fathers out there, be there for your kids.
What's up with your
I just said, no, because all you need to be doing when you're having babies, not take care of their kids.
Jesus Christ!
Let me not get deep.
Oh my God! I would never drive my children to sit up here and date somebody rich. Not worth it.
Mom,
if anything, I would rather have my children be rich.
That too. I'm like, baby, get your own. You better
Get
your own bag.
own bag.
You want to get your own bag? I was going to go out there and get you a Birkin bag. Get in your own.
be dependent, just like independent, just like your mother.
That's right.
And your fathers. I won't sit up here and downplay them too, because they have a job. They both do. But still, be independent like your parents. Period. Whether your father's in your life or not, they still your father at the end of the day. Just like with me, my dad is my dad. That's all I'm gonna end. I'm just gonna end it right there.
I'm gonna say that. Like my dad is my dad.
My dad is my dad.
Biological, don't know.
Jesus. Okay, now you're getting deep. Other than that, you guys, thank you for watching our videos. If you have not, please subscribe, hit that ding ding bell button, and also comment down below. It will be active. I will turn it on. Sometimes I will turn it off if people keep sending up here talking crap. But at the end of the day, please be respectful on my channel, please, guys. This is actually a friendly zone.
Family channel.
So keep things positive sometimes. If you got I will read some negative comments too sometimes or whatever because it's funny. But at the same time, it's like, can y'all chill with the comments and stuff like that? Y'all keep talking about my son, and sometimes he feeling it. He get into his feelings. But other than that, please make sure you guys to subscribe to them too as well.
Subscribe to Q Sean TV.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.